welcome back to teamfortress.tv. It's day 2, Hiipfire, of our Gamer Assembly coverage 2017. Believe it or not, we're still in Poitiers, France, and we're still covering some more 6v6 TF2 French action. So, I guess we should quickly gloss over what happened on the first day. You know, for the people that have just tuned into the stream and like, what's going on? What's this LAN? Well, it's just a small little community LAN. We played day 1 earlier, where we just went through a little group stage just to find out where people should seed in this sort of double bracket, I guess, setup. And we even had a little bit of time to go through a little bit of the loser bracket and a tiny bit of the upper bracket as well. But now we're on day 2. We're just rounding things out for the final day, where our next game will be the upper bracket final to decide who goes into the lower bracket coming up next. But other than all that official stuff, how are you doing, Hiipfire?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I only got like 6 hours of sleep, but I'm
only. That's a
well. I mean, it's like, I mean, it sounds not bad, but I mean, I got to the hotel, as you know, like 5 a.m. So
slamming on the door, he was like, "Hey."
I didn't slam on the door. I tried to get in quietly, but you were somehow
like
already awake.
For a piano.
I didn't do anything, but you were awake. So, but I don't know. I'm doing pretty decent. I did have only like 15 minutes to get up and catch the cab to the venue. Yeah. So my hair might be a little messy, but that's fine.
That's okay. Yeah. It's fine. And there's just that it did bother Twitch chat. Everyone kept saying, "Oh, gorgeous gamer." No, I didn't get any nice messages at all.
You need to get long hair.
Even News got some messages saying "sexy gamer" and all this stuff.
Even News? Are you implying that News isn't? Oh, no, wow! I can't believe this. I can't believe this.
Okay, well played, sir. Trying to make me out the bad guy. Maybe I'm ugly on the outside as well as the inside. All right. Anyway, so covering into day 2, heading straight into it. It will be upper bracket final. It will be nerdRage versus Tactique. Spoilers. So just to remind you who's on both of these teams, I've actually got some nice little stream stats. I've got some team pictures as well, so we can have a quick glance at them. So let's look at nerdRage first, okay? All right. So look at those gorgeous gamers. If I can bring it up on our screen. There you are. I got a lot of the wall in that picture. I probably should have zoomed in a bit more, but just to remind everybody, the nerdRage roster will be Umbrak on Medic, Neo on Scout, his Scout buddy will be Blade, Pocket will be Medico, Namtak, the Demo Man, and Callback the Roma. They had a good day 1, wouldn't you reckon?
Yeah, they played really, really solid. Like in all their matches, they played really well against the 2 French teams, and then I mean, I wouldn't say they slammed Untitled Chapter, but they definitely still, you know, won those 2 maps relatively decisively. And yeah, they've been having a really good start to the LAN, and then they, I think they 2-0'd Dennis Gaming in the upper bracket semi. So like, it's just, I mean, they're just rolling, and yeah, we'll see if they can keep this momentum going, I guess.
Yeah, you're completely right.
Finals.
There's really not much to say because there was no surprises. Everyone saw this like a mile come in. Even nerdRage themselves. The only person I could really point out that's been having like a stellar LAN is maybe Neo, but that I'm a bit biased. Maybe looking at those Twitch clips. Neo had some pretty sick streaks on there, but it's not just one team in this upper bracket final. We do have Untitled Tactics, aka ready, seamless transition. It's not loading. Picnic. All right, fine. No, I think I'm all sorted. Like, I don't think I've disconnected from the internet. It just doesn't want to load for some reason. So I'm just going to say that the other team is Untitled Tactics, or Tactique les
Soufflerie.
Soufflerie. Oh, beautiful language. But on that team, from memory, I think we've got Chris on Scout. Funz is also his Scout buddy. We've got Roaming Soldier, Pappy, Pocket Soldier, Zesty, who usually plays Roamer, but he's playing Pocket for this event. We've got News playing the Demo Man, and finally it's Honey, the Master Caller. On, oh, we actually got it working. Oh, it only took a good 2-minute delay, but all right, okay, works out in the end. But yeah, and finally it was Honey on Medic, the main caller, the mastermind behind the team. So what do you think of their day 1? It's quite rocky, really, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's been kind of an iffy day one. I think partially it's caused by that horrible decision to pick Gully Wash as their home map. After I think the round 2 matches, I asked Funz and Honey, like, why'd you pick Gully Wash? And they both just kind of shrugged and were like, I mean, we just kind of picked it. We didn't really think much behind it. And they didn't win it once. They tied it twice, and they lost it against nerdRage. So. Yeah.
I think it's been the story of the entire LAN, really. Everyone's home map has been dreadful, but when they've been playing each other on the maps, they've been great, apart from maybe nerdRage.
Yeah,
obviously.
nerdRage's process has been very solid.
Yeah.
But, yeah. We did get to see Untitled Tactics on their better maps. Like, you know, that product match that was just a complete wash. It was just a really quick 3-0 with Funz and just the entire team playing really well, except I think maybe News. He had kind of actually I'm not completely sure, but
it's all hazy.
Yeah, but I do remember like Funz and Zesty both had really good games.
Yeah, I think they were struggling at first because they kept saying like, "Oh man, I've got a mouse that keeps disconnecting, and I've got this problem and this problem." But as like obviously LANs go by, you get more settled into your environment and whatnot. You got your computer issues sorted, done. So. At this point now, everyone should feel absolutely fine, ready to play, ready to show 100% in these games. And what a time to show 100%. This is where the games start to matter, Hiipfire. Anyway, I do actually have the map picks and bans as well, so I'm going to load them up as well. So hopefully they'll load seamlessly over the camera. So
eventually.
But in the meantime, while that takes like 2 minutes to load, like the last Tactics thing, you know, we went from a home and away stage to now a picks and bans. It's just 42. Have you loaded, put it on the GA one?
Ah, there you go.
Oh, nice, okay. That worked out heavenly. So, I'm not sure if you could see the map picks and bans from here. Maybe I could pull them up on a different screen here. There you go. So this is sort of our little version of it, where the first person to ban was actually...
Oh, game is starting, actually.
The game is starting. No time.
We'll get back to that later.
Well, I guess we quickly went into what the map picks and bans were. But if you're just joining us, this is teamfortress.tv. This is our Gamers Assembly coverage. This is our first map, Granary. What's happening on mid, Hiipfire?
Alright, well, I'm going to go and look at what News is doing. News is on the low ground right now, but well, actually, never mind. Let's not look at News. There's a bunch of kills going left and right. The scouts trading out kills, but Chris and Funz actually will be the ones that get more frags than the scout combo of nerdRage. And the rest of the team is trying to get out, but they have not gone out fast enough. And they got stuck trying to get out of mid. And, I mean, you know, that typical hard to escape Granary middle. And they got wiped.
Yeah, this is the first time we've seen Granary on the entire event, and it was kind of strange when we were here for the map pick and bans between Umbrak and News, and News kind of went like, Granary, I guess? Like, so I'm not sure if they're too confident in their map, but this is their map pick that they decided with in the end. But with a strong mid showing like that, maybe, you know, Pappy and Zesty will feel pretty comfortable on this soldier map.
Yeah, I mean, Umbrak seemed a little bit flustered when Granary was picked. He was quite confused and was maybe a little, I don't know, maybe this is not a good nerdRage map, but yeah, the crits is moving in. No, actually not yet. They're just still assembling players. They're moving up to top, try to get News a good vantage point, try and get a crit sticky in. Coming in soon. The Uber's actually almost up for nerdRage. They've taken very long to set up this crits play. The crits play is coming in. The sticks are flying through, and Umbrak does go down. Great crits from Untitled Tactics. They do lose Zesty and Pappy during the crits, but they have gotten the all-important medic pick. So they should be able to do something from it. So coming in from the right, Chris will get Neo. They're going to be pushing in. Funz actually drops immediately while trying to go into last to a sticky trap from Namtac. I don't think this push is going to work out.
Yeah, it seemed like they wanted to make like a slow push after the numbers advantage, but those numbers advantage went extremely quickly. You could see some of them wanted to carry on when Funz went down. Some people wanted to go back, and I think there was just a little communication error amongst the team.
Yeah, well, Untitled Tactics just trying to at least attempt to hold this second point. They do have the crits. I think nerdRage has that in the back of their mind because they're not going to try and contest the second point. They should be going in with this crit soon. nerdRage will have about 70% Uber as of yet. Here's the crits coming in on the left. News gets the crits, not popped on it yet. He does not have an angle on Umbrak. There he goes. Throw some sticks down. They're not really hitting anything. They're hitting Namtek eventually, but he hasn't really got anything else. News goes down to the sentry, but his pipe roller will kill it. But the rest of Untitled Tactics is not really in. They're trying to get in on the left. A big meat shot onto Zesty will completely ruin those plans. Untitled Tactics is going to have to go back to second.
I think because Umbrak saw it coming so easily this time, there was no way they could really get the Umbrak kill. I think at that point, you probably need to cut off your losses and just start aiming at other players with that crits to, you know, just make kills and progression happen into that last point instead, rather than just getting another miracle medic kill.
All right, nerdRage is on yard. They're trying to get some space in this ramp area to try maybe contest middle. The crits is up for Wind Tunnel Tactics. The Uber is up for nerdRage. So nerdRage will have the advantage pushing into middle. Umbrak takes a big rocket though while they're trying to get out on top. The Uber does get popped. They're trying to get onto Honey. Funds will go down to Neo, but the rest of Wind Tunnel Tactics has successfully escaped to that yard area while nerdRage did pop their Uber.
Yeah, I mean, Honey does have his crit streak now, but they should know about this. You can already see that they're posturing their positions now, just ready to deal with the crits. So what you see with Umbrak sitting all the way back, ready to literally duck out as soon as any sort of fire is met upon him. He's already backed out already, actually. But because of this constant threat of the crits, you can see that they could just keep slow pushing it in, and they don't really want to jump in and commit onto him, knowing that this crits could just bite them back.
Wind Tunnel Tactics is now on mid. They have successfully capped it. They did get 2 picks, trying to get some space here into yard. Seems like nerdRage is at least slightly looking into yard, but their Uber is up now. They're coming in. The Uber gets forced. Funds will be the one to force that Uber. He will go down because of that force, but they haven't really gotten anything done with this Uber. Wind Tunnel Tactics is sitting on mid with that crits. nerdRage is not really entered mid just yet. Korvac is in. Namtek is in on the left, but he will be forced out, and it's just a soldier and a scout for nerdRage on the right, and they might get caught in. Actually, that's Neo trying to walk in on Honey, or Blade rather. He will not be able to get the kill onto Honey, who's on 30 HP. And nerdRage is unable to really get much done with that Uber.
Yeah, it was a little strange, I suppose. Umbrak must have thought that, oh, 2 players have just ransacked in. That's the distraction for the crits. I'm going to pop my Uber right now. But there was never really a crits follow-up. They never even thought about it over on the side of Wind Tunnel Tactics. So they do pop off that crits now, but the Umbrak managed to build up another Uber during all that time wasted. And you do see Neo doing a little bit of work, but he's got so much on his plate to actually clean up that he does have to back off eventually. And because they overcommitted with the Uber, they just kind of got meat grinded in the end. And now it's just up to poor little Korvac to kind of defend his last point. He's doing well with his buddy Blade, but there's just way too many numbers at this point, and it will go towards the way of Wind Tunnel Tactics.
Well, it seems like the, I guess, relatively risky pick of Granary is, at least as of now, working out for Wind Tunnel Tactics. They're up, yeah, 1-0.
I think the full-time crits is probably the one that's been doing the most work for them.
Probably.
I just didn't really see Umbrak adjusting it too well. Like, every mistake that seemed to come out was just from an experience from like dealing with a Kritzkrieg, I guess, on the field.
It seems so. Now in the second mid, News is on the high ground trying to get some damage onto Namtek. He will drop relatively low to 60 HP. A bomb coming in from Zesty, and Pappy will take down Umbrak. Blade goes down on the left. Medico does eventually get Pappy, but the rest of the scouts of Wind Tunnel Tactics will be cleaning up Korvac and Medico, and now it's just Namtek left on the side of nerdRage on second.
Yeah, these bombs on mid are just so much stronger for Wind Tunnel Tactics. It seems they're just opting to have both the soldiers like follow each other and go for like this double bomb thing. And when they pick off Umbrak, they know that, okay, we just need to protect Honey now, and eventually these heals will win the fight for us, and that's what they did. All
right, sitting on second. The Vaccinator's up for nerdRage. Here's the full Uber advantage push coming in. Uber gets popped on top by Honey Badger. They're going to try and get onto the Sentry. The Sentry will go down. There's a lot of players with nerdRage on the left. The Heavy's right there. They're trying to get some time on the point. But Zesty and News and also Funds have all already gone down. And the rest of Wintel Tactics will have to get out, and will just be Honey. Pappy and Chris both actually were unable to get out. Now it's Honey getting chased by Blade, and he's unable to take that 1v1, and it'll be a full wipe for Wind Tunnel Tactics.
Yeah, I think it didn't help when they first went in. They couldn't finish off callback. He kind of just like circled back around and kind of flanked News, which was a big source of their firepower. They were really lacking firepower at the start of that fight, so when they lost the Demoman as well, there was no way they could possibly take that last point.
Alright, nerdRage is trying to get some space onto this, or into Yard with this Vaccinator. Coming in on the left with these Vaccinator bubbles. They have not popped them yet. Trying to keep these two players on his combo alive. They're trying to get into second, actually. They're coming from Connector, or Z rather, and they're coming also from the Shutter. They're getting in a little bit. Neo has gone down relatively early, though. Some Vaccinator bubbles are getting popped. Trying to get on top of that point. A Conqueror has been popped on the side of Wind Tunnel Tactics. And nerdRage is going to have to get out. Namtek actually getting caught as well. Pappy gets caught too. And Blade trying to get out of that ramp area gets chased and is also gone. But Honey Badger actually going down to Korvac. I don't exactly know where that happened, but Korvac actually getting some good advantage for his team. Wind Tunnel Tactic is trying to get onto mid. Zesty gets destroyed by a jump from Korvac. Funds just walks in and drops Umbrak, though. It's a 2v2 on mid. 2 scouts versus a scout and a demo. Korvac will go down to Chris, but Chris is now actually alone on mid, and he's going to have to try and get out. nerdRage sitting on this mid point.
Yeah, it was the right call by Umbrak, even though it did go down there. It did allow, with this death, I guess he could go back to Medigun, which is kind of a nice thing, but they knew that if they just kept fighting on that mid, the respawners would be in their favor, so they just need to keep taking trades like this. But now that they've regrouped their numbers, they're starting to just try and make another repush of it over on Wind Tunnel Tactics, knowing that they've got some slight heal advantage as well. They do take out Neo, but that's not quite the wipe that they need to get if they want to take over this middle.
Well, they're getting some picks. Blade and Neo both dead. The spawner of Funds is coming in. And Wind Tunnel Tactics coming in from the top, and nobody's on the side of nerdRage is really trying to aggress onto them. They do have that full Uber, so I guess they just are too scared of it, but they're just going to be giving up this middle point.
Yeah, it's just keeping track of the Ubers very well by nerdRage, making sure that they just they don't give up ground for free, but when they know that they've got something that could be a threat to them, they just back out and just buy time. Very, very smart play coming out from both teams so far.
Alright, we are in a little bit of a stalemate here. Both teams a little scared of trying to push in. I mean, it's not exactly very easy to get a successful sack on this map with all these really, well, the only entrances to mid base basically being 3 really small choke points.
Hey, whoa now. Once upon a time, that it used to be just only 2 really small choke points. So, well, count yourself lucky.
I guess on the good old days, one might say, but no, we're not. But this is not the good old days. It's 2017, Turbo. Get with the times. We're playing a new version of Granary, and potentially next season we'll be playing on a newer version of Granary. So.
The non-existent version, the kicked-out version.
No, there is a new one.
Oh, is there? Okay.
Yeah, it has.
I thought Granary was falling out of flavor. I thought people would get it out.
We'll see. We'll see. Let's instead of discussing the new map, let's talk about the map we're currently on. Seems like there's a little bit. I don't know. There's a very unconventional hold here from Medico, very close to the choke point. Just hoping someone overextends on Wind Tunnel Tactics to catch him out, but. Nobody from Wind Tunnel Tactics really is going to try to push in. I think they're very comfortable with this 1-0 lead that they have, especially on a map like this where it's basically, I guess, 7 CP with that the yard is basically its own little area of the map. So
yeah, it is quite unique in that aspect, which is nice in TF2. It's nice to really have like a very varied map pool. It just that really tests out all the strengths of what a team could do. But they've finally decided to go and do something about this stalemate. They've brought Blade back on to the spy class, but The disadvantage, I guess you could see on Granary is because it's such a long map as well. These class changes take a very, very long time to come into effect. That's why you probably don't really see like off classes too much on Granary, or even like a flex pay or something like that. Mookie always said, I do not like Granary, it's too big.
Well, Blade is finally on this yard area. He's on the left side in this choke point. He's on the cloak and dagger, so he's gonna take his damn time going for this pick. Funz is trying to get some space in ramp, unable to do anything. It's actually Pappy here. Actually, Zesty overextending in ramp will go down. Pappy kind of extending through choke, trying to get an opening of his own, but the Uber actually gets forced on the side of Honey. The Uber from nerdRage coming in as well, but neither Uber really able to do much. But we are on a little mid-fight here, but Untitled Tactic is just going to respect it and is going to get out.
That was quite surprising that I thought they would give up that much ground to them. I thought they would, if they hold close to these doors, they could still make it like a close fight. But instead they just got maybe just a little bit scared as well. And keep in mind, Blade was on Spy, so if it was like this sort of direct confrontation, they probably could have won the 5v6. Or better yet, the 6v5, I should say.
Well, Spy play is still going on. On the right, he's on the right side of the yard. He sees, I think that's Chris, building the Uber.
They surely have to suspect this Spy by now. They've even got Funz like, you know, playing a security camera at this point, looking around.
Well, he does uncloak. Honey Badger doesn't see it, and Honey Badger will drop to the Spy of Blade. Actually, News at the same time gets Umbrak. I don't know how that medic trade just happened, but this is in the favor of Untitled Tactic. They have 4 up to 3. The 3 players of nerdRage. There's some bad health on the side of Untitled Tactics, though, and I think they're just going to be content sitting on this yard area.
Yeah, while they did have numbers advantage, it's very difficult to kind of breach this mid-hold, especially knowing that if there's any sort of trading going on, which will likely happen with both of the medics going down, it's just too risky because those respawners, again, just favor nerdRage.
Ooh, the combo of nerdRage taking a lot of damage there. Korvac going down very early into this little left yard push. Blade going down as well. Natic will get Funz. Medico on the flank will get the News as well. Some damage from Medico there onto the combo. Zesty dropping very weak, but it's just 3 players on the side of nerdRage, and they can't really hold this yard, so they're just going to go back with their 20% Uber advantage onto mid.
I wonder if Umbrak knows he has a slight advantage under his belt. I'd imagine he's going to have way too much respect for the enemy team, thinking that he doesn't have the Uber earlier than Honey, especially now that they decided to go push out the left-hand side rather than just go take the direct confrontation. You get the spam on to Honey there. He got caught out by just all the sheer spam of nerdRage. So that was a bit of a freebie coming in the way for nerdRage now. I think they might have taken this round with that.
Well, we'll see. The spawners are not going to be here in time. It's 2 seconds, and yeah, that's it. That'll be 1-1. It's all tied up. 16 minutes into this map of Granary.
That was very, very strange. I never really expected to see all that amount of damage like take out players like Honey and whatnot. It looked like they were positioned somewhat safely, but you know, I guess if everybody just contributes their little bit to the spam, it does all add up. So well played too, nerdRage.
Oh, we got the next mid going on. News is on that high ground, trying to get some spam onto the opposing demo, but he drops down, and nerdRage is all the high ground right now. A bomb coming in from Happy very aggressively, but he's not really going to be able to get anything done with it. Happy going down as well. Korvac jumping onto Honey will get him and Chris, and this mid is just like, it's just horrible for Untitled Tactic. They're just crumbling.
Yeah, the big bomb in from Pappy, but because of those massive big bomb, you really telegraph where you're going to jump from, and the scouts were just being very patient, waiting for him to just land and basically clean and finish him off. He couldn't really, he was never really in a position to lay down some damage.
Well, Untitled Tactic is now forced to sit on last. They have 3 off classes and also have the Vaccinator, Heavy, Sniper, NG. Vaccinator. This is some real gimmick plays. Sentry is up only on level 1. I don't think nerdRage has quite has the intentions yet to push. Lutz is going to go and upgrade that sentry to get spammed a little bit. But I think nerdRage should be able to push in soon. They do have that Uber. The Uber gets popped up top onto Neo and Korvac, or Medico rather. The backstander bubbles are getting popped as well. A Conqueror will also get popped for Wind Tunnel Tactics. A bunch of buffs, and well, Neo has gone down. Blade will get caught as well, and the rest of nerdRage is going to have to retreat. That's a good hold.
Yeah, there's just so much resistance, and I guess the disadvantage of being on Granary is you have to spend so much ammo or firepower, or time really, to just get to a good point where you can lay a good amount of damage on the enemy team. And during all that time, you've just haven't got enough resources really to break through not only the resistances but the off classes as well.
Well, now nerdRage is going to use a different method to breaking the stalemate. They're going to go with Neo on the sniper. Let's see if he can do anything. He's gonna go up top, peeking around the corner onto the pipes. He does see a soldier, a vaccinator popped soldier, unable to get the kill onto him, and does get some damage off. Both of them will retreat, Neo and the combo. The soldier is peeking again. Neo trying to get a headshot again, unable to do it. Soldier will try to make some space for Neo to get another aggressive peek on. He's gonna peek on the left side. Nothing really to be seen here though. No one really peeking. The only thing he could maybe get is like a sentry pick if he peeks a little bit more aggressively. Actually, there's two people there, a soldier and a sniper. Chris on sniper peeking Neo a little bit, and let's see who can get the kill. But I think Chris is a little intimidated. I don't think he's gonna. He doesn't want to go for that 1v1. I
think it's still the right call to have your own sniper, even if you think that your own sniper isn't as good as the enemy sniper. It still adds a lot of pressure as a sniper yourself when you've got another one on the field. Because it just means you can't just like, I guess, keep trying or take all this free space and take your time with it. There's a lot of, even against a bad sniper, it's just there's still a pressure basically.
Yeah. I mean, you can always just go and hit body shots. I mean that doesn't require like ace aim. But we do have Neo again peeking up top. Some more space being created. Still having a bit of an issue trying to really find a good pick. It's only really been scouts and soldiers peeking him, but I think he really wants, you know, that juicy medic pick or maybe demo pick to open up the window for nerdRage to push in. Nothing really happening yet. I'm gonna go and look over what Chris is doing. Maybe Chris is having a little bit more success. Chris is here on the left. He's just jumping around a little bit. I think he's just kind of going for more of the waiting for people to overextend. He actually does try and get onto Neo, but Neo will actually get Funzing. We'll also get Chris 2 picks for Neo. The push will come in from nerdRage on the left side. Medico will go down. Vaccinator charges are getting popped. The sentry's not down yet. It finally gets spammed down. The Uber just now getting popped onto 3 wind tunnel, or against 3 wind tunnel tactics players. Players are going down. The vaccinator bubbles are trying to keep News and Honey alive, but there's the scouts coming in, and I think nerdRage will be wiped.
Wow. The power of the respawn is they just had to buy enough time, and I guess because Funz was the first pick, he was the first one out of that respawn queue, and my god, he just cleaned up the entire team. It just, I guess they just took way too long. I know they wanted to draw out the time because that's the best way to really deal with the vaccinator, is just eventually the heals just kind of play in your favor, but yeah, just took maybe just a little too long.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunate for nerdRage. Wind Tunnel Tactics finally is out of their last point. They're now holding their yard. nerdRage on middle with about 20% disadvantage compared to the Uber of Honey Badger. The Ubers are being built on both sides, a little bit harder on the side of nerdRage. So they will be basically equalizing this Uber advantage. I mean, you can't really push off of 10%. I think that Wind Tunnel Tactics is not even going to try and push off of whatever advantage they think they have. They're just going to sit on second.
You know, I was just having a quick think to myself, Hiipfire. I mean, while during the group stage, draws were allowed in this upper bracket, I'm not sure if they can't possibly be allowed, so we could be in for maybe some golden caps.
Oh, man.
Hands. I know. Need to find Elusive, see if he allows or disallows them at all. I mean, I wouldn't know what you would do, really, if it came to a tie and you didn't want to push the schedule anymore with these golden caps.
Well, we'll figure that out when we get there. nerdRage trying to peek a little bit aggressively in his choke area. There's 4 people here trying to, I don't know, just force their way maybe into Wind Tunnel's Tactics yard, but they're just getting spammed out. Medico with that full buff and constant healing, he's trying to get through, but there's News just raining pipes in. Some rockets coming in as well. There's actually a jump coming in, trying to get onto Honey Badger. He will take 1 rocket. That's all Medico will do to him. Well, that was an unsuccessful sack from Medico. Maybe we'll see an off class, but we're still in the same situation. Wind Tunnel Tactics is still on yard. nerdRage still in middle. Medico's about to spawn. Is he gonna go? No, he's just gonna go back to Soldier. This might be one of those really fun, just constant sacks. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, while we've got some little downtime, Hiipfire, I have found out that there is a golden cap for this this section of the tournament if it does happen, but it will bring back the time limit though, 10-minute time limit. We haven't seen that in a while, so it means whoever holds mid will walk away with a golden cap. That'll be quite interesting if it does come down to it. With 6 minutes left on the clock and it being Granary, I think it is in the stars.
Well, we'll see. Once again, nerdRage trying to get some space on this. They're in choke. Medico getting a bunch of heals, just trying to maybe get into a good position to sack. Blade actually going very aggressive, and ramp will go down to News. But now there's another player down for nerdRage. nerdRage can't really afford a second sack. Actually, push coming in. The Conqueror gets popped on the left side for Wind Tunnel Tactics. The Uber has not yet been popped. It's popped right now. Medico and Blade now down. The combo of nerdRage gets the Uber. The Uber is about to fade for the side of Wind Tunnel Tactics. The Ubers have now faded for both teams. It's now going to be just an old team fight. Chris gets Korvac. Namtek is getting juggled up into the air. Funds will take him out, and the rest of nerdRage is going to have to get out.
I feel like the difference between those Ubers there was a lot more high ground taking from Honey Badger and his boys, where they had a few just kind of floating around them, ready to spam rockets from them from the high ground, as well as they had a player man up compared, because Medico did go down very early during that Uber.
Well, Wind Tunnel Tactics is trying to approach the second point. nerdRage is holding very passively. They're just trying to maybe contest it a little bit. They might be aggressing if they feel like it. They're about to have their Uber. Wind Tunnel Tactics is trying to edge this point. They're getting spammed really hard by nerdRage though. There's a block coming in from Medico, and Wind Tunnel Tactics is dropping very low. There's actually Funds and Zesty and News all have really bad health. Neo will just walk through Shutter, killing both of them, cleaning up those kills very well. Uber gets popped by Wind Tunnel Tactics. They have to get out to mid. Both Ubers will fade now, as nerdRage is trying to aggress onto Wind Tunnel Tactics on this mid point. Jumps coming in. Funds gets Blade. Funds will get a second kill, getting Namtek as well. He's on a 7 kill streak. He's on a roll this map right now. He will get cleaned up by Neo. Happy will go down as well. It's just 3 Wind Tunnel Tactics players in that ramp area trying to do what they can. News gets Neo. Zesty is in a fight with Korvac up top. News sees him too. Medico will go down. And now it's just Korvac on mid. He's on 70 HP. He's trying to jump out, try to survive. He's 20 HP. He's going to get out with that escape plan.
Yeah, News doing quite a bit of work on that little skirmish. So they will hold on to the midpoint for now and maybe even gain some ground onto the second point, as they haven't really got a defense 2 lined up on the side of nerdRage. Trying to peek it, but with Namtek back up now, it's going to make it very difficult for them. He's spamming them out, so just another obstacle for them to deal with now over on the side of Wind Tunnel Tactics.
And there's a lot of weak players on the side of Wind Tunnel Tactics right now, all dropping very low. I guess they're just all trying to find an opening, but they have to watch out. If someone aggressed on the side of nerdRage, they could have lost a lot of players there. Playing a risky game there, Wind Tunnel Tactics, but now just playing a bit more passively, just hoping that nerdRage tries to maybe sack Medico in again, push in. There are a lot of players of nerdRage trying to aggress onto this into the left side of a yard here. There's a little bit of a fight between the combos of nerdRage and Wind Tunnel Tactics going on, but neither team will lose a player. That fight ends. The Wind Tunnel Tactics combo moving over to the right. See if they can find anything here. some spam going down again, and we're at 2.5 minutes, but it doesn't seem like either team is really, I guess, in a really, I don't know, like a winning situation right now. Just a little stalemate.
I mean, I think it's down to Untitled Tactics. They know that it's really their game to, I guess, draw at the moment. Like, they could definitely... oh, with news going down, though, that is not a good sign. They really need him to hold on to this point. The only thing I can see doing badly now is nerdRage try and push off it, and they kind of fluff up the push in some way.
Well, news went down, but Korbeck immediately got caught in Z, and the combo of nerdRage pushing through Z, they will actually get forced. Chris will get Neo, who gets dropped by Umbrak, and Umbrak is unable to get out. Umbrak is down, 2 players down for the side of nerdRage. Untitled Tactics is going to try to get the cap onto the second point. Blade goes down as well, actually. This might be a last push. The Conqueror will get popped by Zesty. Untitled Tactics is going to be going onto this last point. The point is being played by Funds. Korbeck will stop that, though. And there is Medico, or no, Korbeck trying to fight Honey Badger. Ooh. And in the end, that's it. Untitled Tactics has got the second point. Up 2-1. We have 1.5 minutes to go.
I'm not sure about this. I don't think they really have the time anymore to make it happen over on nerdRage. I think they've sailed away with it, Untitled Tactics. Who knew that losing a demo man would be the difference maker for making the push happen?
Well, I mean, yeah, the demo pick did happen, but then Korbeck, or it might have been Medico, one of the soldiers immediately, like, as if on cue, went into Z, got caught, and basically fed immediately. So, like, and then they pushed Z, and they got forced really early. It was just a kind of, I don't know, it was an odd push. It just very, I guess, uncoordinated. People dropping everywhere, and then Umbrak trying to get out, but it's no chance.
Yeah. Well, I guess very well played by Untitled Tactics. It was a good game overall. It was just like more like your thinkings, man. TF2 there, where it wasn't too action-packed, but both teams were just making the right decisions. Maybe a few mistakes here and there that did result into some rounds, but hey, that's TF2, baby. So with just 9 seconds left on the clock, it's just going to roll out now. I'm going to see if we can quickly hunt down the logs while it's ticking down. So I'm going to ask you that age-old question. You know what I'm going to say. Who's your MVP, Hiipfire?
MVP of that game? I honestly don't really know. I'm kind of unsure because I feel like this game was more decided by the team's decisions, and I don't really remember exactly a star player. One thing that was really nice, though, which I guess I could give a nod to, is Zesty playing with Conqueror, because there were a lot of like Uberless pushes from Untitled Tactics where they used the Conqueror, I guess, to just push after an Uber got forced, which was quite nice. And I don't know, I just no one really stood out for me, I guess.
Yeah, I'll make it easy for you. We'll look at the logs. Okay, maybe we could find like a mathematical way. Like
math? You mean who has the biggest number?
Yeah, pretty much. Let's do what we always do way too much at TFT. Let's just arrange it by damage and just, yep, well, Medico did the most damage, therefore he probably was the best. That's
sadly his team lost.
That's how that works, right?
He's trying to pull in Ubers, just completely pound and then still lose.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of maybe, I think Chris had a really good game. Like, look at that kill to death, an assist ratio as well, 4.4.
Yeah, Chris has been doing a lot better than I expected him.
Yeah, I think he's making me eat my words. At the start of the tournament, I was like, "Ooh, I'm not sure about this Chris guy."
I mean, some of the Untitled Tactics people were telling me that he's pretty solid, like scout. Like, I mean, like he plays, soldier as his main, but he has a good scout, and I mean, you can see it in the stats. He's been doing quite solid. I mean, he's outplaying, I guess, Funds at this point, and at least on this map in particular. So you gotta be doing something right.
Yeah, and I think the difference maker as well is like, I think compared to yesterday, I'm seeing him like when he's taking these 1v1 fights, he's actually like coming out them with most of the victories. I saw that he was fighting up against Neo quite a number of times. We could probably see this in, like, if I skip way ahead and go to the player v player statistics, it was actually, let's see where Chris is getting most of these things. Actually, he's getting majority of them of just dealing with the soldiers of nerdRage. So maybe not bullying Neo too much in my mind. I guess I'm just cherry picking. But I guess the difference maker was these mids, though. Like when we go back to the mids of both of these teams, I could probably show some stats here. There you go, bam. All the mids that were won by Wind Tunnel Tactics, I think it was just the soldier play was just so much stronger from them. The bombs, the coordinated play, whilst nerdRage's little bombs and coordination on mid was just a little bit lacking. And maybe that was just amplified by just Chris dealing with both of these soldiers.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, there were definitely some good bombs and some comparatively poor bombs on the side of nerdRage. People just getting denied, or there was I do remember from Wind Tunnel Tactics that big bomb from Pappy where he just jumped all the way from choke all the way to the balcony of nerdRage and he hit nothing that entire jump. That was they did some good mids. That's the thing that sticks in my mind a little bit.
It doesn't matter. One game.
Yeah, they won. I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm just saying that one bomb was kind of.
All right. So back to our beautiful faces, because we don't want to look at more stats. We're being oversaturated. So I think we're just going to get a few more players onto the server, and then we'll be going onto the underway. But you know, they started off very strong, and this is probably going to be great for Wind Tunnel Tactics because now they've got the belief in them. They haven't really taken a map off of nerdRage all tournament, so now they're going to think to themselves like, guys, we could maybe do this.
Yeah. Well, they're going to have to. They need to make sure that they don't get too demotivated after this map, though, because this is nerdRage's home map, and they've been doing very well on this map against all the teams here. So
yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah. Actually, I wonder if it'd be too late to show those map picks and bans again.
Nope, it's way too late.
Way too late. I can hear the timer right now.
The game is starting.
All right, if you're just joining us, welcome to teamfortress.tv. Let's get into the game. All right, so our second map, Process. Like you said, the favorite, the map pick for nerdRage. So, you know, they should really win this, but they're going to feel pretty good on the side of Wind Tunnel Tactics taking that first map. What's happening on mid, Hiipfire?
Right, well, Pappy's going for a very aggressive mid, trying to get the nerdRage players away from their own PC. A lot of the nerdRage players coming out of that sewer area. Actually, Pappy going down to Korback. nerdRage trying to move over the point. A bomb coming in from, I think that's Zesty, gets Umbrak. Umbrak going down. It's 3v3 with the heals in favor of Wind Tunnel Tactics. It just Chris and Funds, the two scouts from Wind Tunnel Tactics. They need to fight Neo, who's trying to get the kill on Honey. They need to stop missing shots, and Chris gets 2 Boston Basher kills on that mid. I mean, if you can't hit him if you're just beefing shots, I mean, melee them, and I guess it works.
Sorry, I had to check my computer there if I wasn't playing Dark Souls for a minute there. Like, that was a bit of swordplay coming out from mid. You don't really see any sort of melee happening in the game, let alone 2 back-to-back on the first mid.
Well, if it works, it works. And they've won the mid. They've basically wiped nerdRage. nerdRage is now on last with a Vaccinator, an NG, and a heavy. No scouts for the side of nerdRage. The push will be coming in soon from Wind Tunnel Tactics. Zesty's peeking in on the right, see if he can get in. He spams the Sentry of Blade down, so no 7th player for the side of nerdRage. Wind Tunnel Tactics is assembling this team. They're pushing in on the right. The Uber is popped, trying to aggress on the players on the right side of this last point. They're all out, trying to rotate to the left side. They're not really getting any frags. As Heavy just walking in and just melts Zesty. Pappy does get Medico, but these picks are going the way of action. They're going the way of Wind Tunnel Tactics. The scouts are doing a great job picking off everyone who isn't currently being healed by Umbrak, because Umbrak is just tanking at Heavy, and he just gets bounced off of the point, and they play the point, and that's the first. That's 1-0 for Wind Tunnel Tactics.
What happens if you can't kill the unkillable? You just move him, it seems. Just drag him across the point. It's just like, excuse me, we would like this round, please.
That's the goal of this game. You have to cap the points.
Objective gaming at its very best. Well, strong showing from Untitled Tactics at the first couple of minutes of the game. If you're over on the side of nerdRage, Hiipfire, are you shook? Are you scared?
I mean, you go into this with a lot of confidence, and they're showing it a little bit on this mid, actually. They're going into this PC area, and they're just denying everyone. And I mean, Untitled Tactics is already out. This mid has been going on for like 10 seconds, and Untitled Tactics has given up completely. I mean, it was a very quick round.
Ooh, that was close, but he got the Medico kill. He technically used his head for that kill, just killing himself practically off of news. Medico will be, like, I guess, not used for this second push. They can't even get some cap time on there because they just went so aggressive into Honey and his boys, but they couldn't find the Honey kill in the end. So we'll have that Uber charge ready and waiting, but Umbrak is just getting his now, so very likely.
Chris with another sword kill, yeah.
Good God.
Oh, bomb coming in. The combo wasn't paying attention to PC, and Umbrak will be forced. They have to go into this choke area, try to force Honey's Uber. It does get forced, but the Uber is a lot better on the side of Untitled Tactics. There's a scout here, Blade, who's going to get caught, cleaned up by Funds. The rest of nerdRage is trying to get out through this choke area. If 3 players, they all get out safely. Untitled Tactics now on mid. They're going to be capping up that point.
All right, so both Ubers have been expended during that fight, so things are going to calm down just a little bit now. Both of these teams are going to have to start thinking outside the box and thinking how they could break out this possible stalemate. They're going to throw Zesty in, it seems, this initial fight. Actually, no, it was just a distraction bomb for the Pappy bomb, but Umbrak is making it very difficult for him. He is brought down to like 40 HP, and he does get the Umbrak kill. So, Honey just needs to think about staying alive at this point now. He's already backing out. He's all back there with news. He's laid waste to all his team members, though. He's like, sorry, team, everyone has to die except me. So they will kind of give up mid at this point. I wonder if they would actually Uber in to defend that mid.
Well, it seems so.
They want to do it, news.
But the med is not there yet. They're blocking it without actually their medic there. There is Zesty going down to Neo, and it seems like everyone just like on their own trying to block this mid point. Well, they lost their pocket. First, Zesty trying to jump on top of that rock is going to probably go in soon. There he is. He's on top. The Uber gets popped from some spam. nerdRage is going to be content just going out to second with the objective of getting the Uber out. Well, it's been accomplished, I guess.
News was standing still throughout the fight, just constantly getting drip fed all those crossbows, and they will push back in for that midpoint now, and they will back off slightly, not just because Namtak got some sick pipes there, but also because they've got an Uber charge coming up for Umbrak, so they're probably a little scared about that being used on them right now. I don't think they're aware that Umbrak doesn't have it quite yet. He just got it now, so they're probably going to meet a little resistance on the second point, but overall just give it up to nerdRage.
Yeah, Untitled Tactics smartly just giving up the second point, not risking losing a bunch of players just because you really want to keep it. The Uber is now up for the side of Untitled Tactics. Even Ubers. nerdRage is going to have to try and find an opening in this last hold of Untitled Tactics to try and equalize the score. They're peeking in on the right side of Loppy. Both soldiers there trying to spam out Pappy, who's holding there on top of the barrels. But he will just stay there unmoved from that spam. Funds is going to go on Sniper. The team that is seemingly taking some initiative is actually the defending team who's in the lead. Let's see what Funds can do. We haven't really seen a lot of Funds sniping yet. It's mostly been Chris on this team.
Yeah. Usually the methodology of things is just to, if you've got a better scout, whoever's the better scout of the two players is usually the ones that has to stay a scout throughout the game. So you could see why they opted to keep Funds on his signature class for the entire game, but delving a little bit into Sniper doesn't really make anything happen, but it's process. I mean, what can you really do as a scout and process last?
Little Uber exchange happening here, actually. Untitled Tactics got a little bit of space when nerdRage popped, or rather sacked a soldier and a scout and trying to get onto Honey. They push out, but Uber has been popped for Untitled Tactics and they got not really anything from it. They got Neo, which is a minor pick. Zesty goes out, or goes down trying to get out. And now it's going to be nerdRage with the advantage, pushing in with the full Uber. They're going to go and play this point, clearing the stickies. No real kills happening just yet. Untitled Tactics is going in. Chris goes down. Namtech will go down. Blade gets a second kill. Gets Pappy as well. Scout's playing the point. They're trying to get onto the point. Untitled Tactics trying to hold this, but they will be unable to. And nerdRage will be tying the score up 1-1.
Man, they had so much time onto that point. You could see that the Untitled Tactics were basically forced to step onto that point, and they knew that they were all going to share the same spams, share the same damage. It made it very easy to just target all of them on the side of nerdRage and make that last point very easy to cap in the end.
Well, we are into our third mid. Pappy again with the fast rollout on top, trying to get some spam onto the nerdRage players. Will back up very quickly though. Both scouts, Chris and Funds on top. Soldier actually dropping Chris very low. News actually goes down to Namtech, a very important pick early in this mid. Zesty will go down as well. Pappy's in the air, who will kill Neo, but in the end will suicide, and Medico and Blade combine their aggression to get Chris and Honey. Funds will eventually get Namtech, but that's all he will be able to do, as Untitled Tactics have been wiped and nerdRage is capping this mid.
Patience paying off for nerdRage in that mid. Especially the kills just came to them. Meals on wheels. So it's time for another last defense for Untitled Tactics, but the last one just went so dreadfully. I hope they've got something better installed for nerdRage this time.
Well, let's see what Untitled Tactics can do. They have Funds on Heavy, Pappy on NG. They have the Vaccinator up. They have to do what they can with the limited amount of time they have to set up this last hold. nerdRage going to the right side of the lobby. Going in, Soldier, Scout. Everyone's going in. Actually, the entire team is here. They together spam down Pappy's Sentry. Chris will go down. The rest of Untitled Tactics is on the left side. The Vaccinator bubbles are getting popped onto the Heavy. The rest of Untitled Tactics doing a decent job of getting damage onto the nerdRage player. Fun's getting a kill. Pappy getting a kill. Namtech does get Pappy in the end, but I mean, everyone on nerdRage is incredibly weak. Neo and Medico are the only ones on last, and they both get easily cleaned up. And now it's Namtech, Umbrak going to choke and getting out.
I don't think they really think about how to deal with the Vaccinator in the big picture of things over on the side of nerdRage. They just, it was just very strange seeing them just like walk into this resistant Heavy and just still trying to take him down, even though there was just like one soldier trying to kill him and just getting pummeled by him. But I guess maybe the communication or isn't clear like what they need to try and achieve when there's a Vaccinator up.
Alright, well, Untitled Tactics has lost a lot of players here. A little bit of a fight going on this second point, but actually a lot of players are down for Untitled Tactics. It's just the scout pairing of Chris and Funds. Chris on his own getting two kills right here.
This is what I was talking about. Chris, he's winning these 1v1s.
He just won two different 1v1s there to save that second point. After, well, that little block coming in from nerdRage. So Untitled Tactics will be staying on their second. About equal Ubers. nerdRage is already on mid. Untitled Tactics is seeming... Oh, no, it's just Pappy wanted to check in, you know, see if anything's going on, and he saw the entirety of nerdRage. And he just noped straight out of that out of that choke point.
Alright, so even Ubers a piece, basically. I mean, there is a slight advantage for Honey, but I don't think there's any possibility that he'll...
Korvac actually gets Pappy on the flank there. A little aggressive play there, but Funds will clean up Korvac.
Yeah, it would just be a little trade, though. Yes. I mean, if you overcommit for the kill, he's going to just die either way, so it just ends up as a basic trade. But I don't think anything's going to come of it, unless they maybe get a class change going through either team. But Pappy doesn't come back as a class change, and neither does Korvac.
Alright, even Ubers. Untitled Tactics on their second. nerdRage on that middle point. It's now 1-1, 12 minutes in. nerdRage, I mean, they probably, both teams kind of don't really want to push, but at the same time they kind of have to push. I mean, it is tied. They could try and play for the golden cap at this point, but I think neither team wants to do that. Funds dropping very low. Medico overextending a little bit. Zesty will be able to clean up that kill started by News. So that's the pick for Untitled Tactics.
Oh,
and
there
he goes. Chris just walking straight in, trying to get onto Umbrak, unable to get even a single point of damage onto him, just getting immediately focused. Pappy actually very aggressive on the flank, and he's almost caught out. He will be able to get out. There's some very aggressive play in PC from nerdRage, trying to somehow get a reply kill, but they were unable to, or yeah, second kill rather, follow up from that. But we do have Blade on Sniper, and we have Chris on the Spy. People are tired of this stalemate. They want to do something about it right here, right now. Blade in sewers. He's trying to look through the shutter area, trying to maybe get a pick on someone important. He does get a headshot on News, drop it to 11 HP. A bomb coming in, trying to maybe work off of that damage. Unable to do so. He's peeking onto Honey. Honey is forced to pop that Uber, scared of Blade's potential headshot onto him. So there's a fight going in. Umbrak has popped his Uber as well. The Conqueror gets popped from Zesty. Honey and Chris are already down to the soldier pair of nerdRage. They're trying to get in with this Conqueror, try to do what they can, but everyone's just going down. Nobody can get anything. And as Chris said in the chat, yeah, his spy play worked out really well.
That was, I guess, just unfortunate timing in a way, because they couldn't really deal with the Blaze Sniper. Maybe they were lacking just that one extra person to deal with all the pressure coming out from nerdRage, and Chris couldn't get into position in time. What he basically ended up doing was like, I'm being useless here, I need to just uncloak and run back to base, and he died anyway. So it was literally the worst situation that you could ever ask for as a spy.
All right, well, the push will be coming in soon for nerdRage. They have the Uber almost. Neil will get Zesty. Blade's peeking very aggressively on the left. He will get the headshot onto Honey. Crisp headshot onto the Vaccinator. Medic there, losing those 4 Vaccinator charges. The Uber gets popped by nerdRage. It's just 4 people with no heals. Try to do what they can. Chris goes down. Funds goes down. Blade goes down. That's 1 pick for Untitled Tactics, but just 2 players left, both weak. News is stuck in spawn, and nerdRage will be able to play the point. It'll go 2-1 in the favor of nerdRage.
Oh no. It seems someone's sniper has woken up this morning, and he's going to just have a nice time, I think, for the rest of the map. He's going to feel himself knowing that he's hitting these shots as sniper. He's going to comfortably know that he can just pull it out for his team when he needs to, give him more confidence for every headshot he hits.
Well, the next bit is happening. It's a very aggressive jump actually there from Korback, trying to emulate Pappy a little bit. He's trying to do what he can. Doesn't really get much done. He does get out. It's just some spam being exchanged. No kills yet, but Untitled Tactics is stuck in choke. Korback eventually does go down to Chris there. Wow, News actually getting caught out by Namtac. Little 1v1 going on in grass. He will go down. Blade will win the 1v1 against Funds. Chris gets Medico. And well, I mean, they have this 2 soldiers and a medic for the side of Untitled Tactics. Chris actually goes down, but well, Honey gets caught on top of the point, a little overextending compared to Zesty and Pappy, who are both holding relatively passively. And this mid will go towards nerdRage.
Yeah, I think some members of Untitled Tactics were just a bit overzealous there. They just went straight into them, not really fighting as a team or going across or focusing the right targets or the right places. They instead just all kind of ran off and tried to be the hero, and they just kept dying one by one, very disconnected from the team. And eventually the numbers just were better from nerdRage, and they just took the fights from there. And it didn't help that also I think it was Neo who did the massive flank in as well, picking off Honey.
Yeah, well, Honey in fact went down on that mid, so they're going to be on Vaccinator into this last hold for Untitled Tactics. Let's see if they can hold it this time. nerdRage will be coming in soon. The Uber gets popped left side of lobby. They're going to try and focus this Heavy that's getting all the Vaccinator bubbles right now. He has not gone down just yet. The Sentry has gone down. News has gone down. The Uber has faded for nerdRage. Blade will get Zesty. Funds gets Neo. And there's a bomb coming out to the combo. Great stuff from Pappy, taking down Umbrak. Tries to get Medico as well, dropping Medico very low. This fight is going on very long. Namtac going down, Blade going down. Medico trying to do something as well, but he's just out of position, going down as well. It's just Korback in PC, and Untitled Tactics is going to be able to hold his last point.
The control point is being
contested. Yeah, they're probably a little bit suspicious about Korback because they're turning back at the point there, but they've got the cap now, so there's no possibility of a back cap, really. With another pushback, it's time to go back to the sniper, says Blade. Let's see if he can make the magic happen again.
Well, I don't blame him. He's been, of all the 4 scouts that have all sniped this map, Blade is the only one that has really gotten like a real opening from it. So, I mean, just try and replicate the same success he had before. Holding very passively, just waiting, sitting by PC, just looking at Choke, hoping that Untitled Tactics will just feed a player into a scope. Nothing really happening just yet. Fun's going down to Namtech though. Actually, he's in forward spawn. I didn't actually see that. He's in forward spawn, but Funjack has gone down.
Yeah, switched back to scout now.
In that PC area. Yeah, he switched back. Seeing as that Fun's pick has happened.
Wait, did they Uber in? I was too busy looking at the Blade Sniper that I think Honey must have Ubered in, and now they've lost too many picks trying to, I guess, get the Uber from Umbrak as well. He Ubers into Choke just to, I guess, make an easy second push of it. He's already starting to make the push into last as well, but they've got a heavy weapons guy to deal with, and he's got that Natasha, so it's just going to be a pain to really go through that chokeway. So they decide better against it, go back, you know, rebuild that Uber.
I don't know what happened with Honey getting forced. That was quite odd, but I guess it happened. Untitled Tactics has about 20% ad in this little situation we find ourselves on last. Sorry for that little burp there, but
apology not accepted.
Well, I'm sorry, but Pappy's going spy, trying to end the stalemate. Actually, he sees the nerdRage players moving into lobby. He's in a very prime position to maybe get a backstab onto Umbrak. Umbrak doesn't know. Pappy's going to try to uncloak. Chris will go down. Pappy's going to try and chase Umbrak, who's going to start pushing in. He's behind Umbrak. Is he able to get the drop onto him?
Yes.
There he goes. Great backstab from Pappy. But he's not able to get on the point in time. Untitled Tactics will just give it that round away, even though they just dropped
team, I've almost got
Umbrak.
it. I've almost got it, team. Team. Not yet. Not yet. Oh, we've lost a round. Oh.
I mean, you could just play the point while your spy is going for the back or for the backstab.
I think they just didn't want to aggress onto them, and then that would pop off Umbrak.
Yeah.
But maybe that's giving them way too much credit. Maybe they just fluffed it up and didn't block the point.
Well, who knows? Well, we're on the 5th mid, 3-1 for nerdRage. It's a soldier behind for both teams, Pappy behind and Korback behind, both trying to start making plays. Korback jumping in, gets Honey. News has already gone down. Pappy on his own flank, unable to really get much done. He does drop Umbrak very low. It's true. Zesty on top will go down. Chris will get the kill on Namtech, the demo of nerdRage. So he'll be able to get at least something done. Tries to fight Medico in a 1v1, drops him to 7 HP, but in the end, will not be enough. Which are with nerdRage getting this midpoint.
Yeah, with Honey going down so early, you can tell straight away nerdRage just bunched up around Umbrak. Umbrak even thinking about taking a trip to Syria by himself just to avoid all the excitement and aggression coming out from Untitled Tactics. But I want to give an A+ effort to Chris though. Not only did he take out Namtech, he also drew some players away from the midpoint, which just bought some time for his team to kind of respawn and get some defenses set up.
Well, this is once again Untitled Tactics on their last. Vaccinator, NG, Heavy, nerdRage on the right side of the lobby, peeking in. Seems to think that's not a good idea. Korback and Medico both taking a decent amount of damage. Korback on 40 HP. Should be getting healed soon. nerdRage should be pushing in. Honey Badger does have 4 Vaccinator charges. Neo just walks in and kills Funds. Sentry has not gone down. Chris does get Neo. Pappy goes down. News goes down. Very good picks for the side of nerdRage. The Sentry still has not gone down. The Sentry does go down eventually to Blade. Heavy's coming in. He's trying to walk onto the point. Uber gets popped by nerdRage. Uber has now faded. And just a Vaccinator medic and his pocket will be there, and they will be unable to stop the armada of nerdRage players. And, well, they will go down 4-1.
Well, that's what happens when you run the risk as an engineer and build that sentry gun in that spot. Not only did that sentry gun not really contribute much, it caused Funds to actually die as well on engineer, so you couldn't really switch out and make the most abusing aspect of engineer is like using the sentry gun to its full effect and then just switching out to a different class.
Well, next mid's going in. Untitled Tactics sitting all on the ground. They're trying to get some bombs over the point. Pappy going down very early. The rest of the team pushing over with him though. News will go down. Zesty will go down. Funds will get a kill on Korback, but that will be the only kill that this team will get on this mid fight.
Wow. I think Pappy went in for a big bomb and he must have called out a lot of damage because everybody bunched up on Wind Tunnel Tactics and they just like darted forward as a group, but they all shared the same spam Hiipfire.
Well, that's how you play roamer. You just bait your team by calling damage, and then you just kill everyone.
They're so low.
Oh my God!
They're so weak, 1 HP.
Dude. Oh my God! You guys are so bad.
Oh my God.
Anyway, instead of being mean to Pappy, let's look at the.
Let's spy.
Oh my God! I'm going sniper. Oh my God! GG. Okay, nerdRage. Full Uber, they're coming in from the left. Pappy goes out very early because his team is really bad. The push coming in, the sentry going down. The rest of Wind Tunnel Tactics on this right side of the last point. Zesty going down as well. Everyone just slowly dying. The Heavy is still alive with those vaccinated bubbles getting popped onto him. Gets his kill onto Neo, but Funds goes down. There goes the Heavy as well. And nerdRage should be able to do this. There's 3 players for Wind Tunnel Tactics. They have the heals. It's taking a surprisingly long time, but they're just playing the point. Wind Tunnel Tactics going down 5-1.
With Pappy going down so early and Zesty kind of got sprung on by a scout, I think he didn't see coming from that left-hand side. Again, they just had no firepower really to take out these players. I mean, the Heavy was still alive, but he was running that... I forgot what it's the Tomislav, where it's not really the most damaging thing in the world, and it doesn't really bring out the utility of Natasha, so he wasn't really doing too much. He was just a resistant blob that eventually died.
Pappy just got destroyed on that mid, trying to fight Korback there on top, and the rest of his team hadn't even gone to mid yet. Wow. I mean, Wind Tunnel Tactics just got destroyed. I mean, here there's 2 PLers left, and Zesty goes down. There's Chris. He gets destroyed, and nerdRage winning yet another mid.
No, it's just a crushing reality where Honey got like a nice surf from a soldier, and then Blade just kind of like jumped up and like slammed him down like it was some sort of volleyball.
No chance.
No,
it was a good effort though.
No mercy.
Well, Wind Tunnel Tactics is going to try to have a different approach. They're not going to hold last this time. They're going to try and contest second a little bit. They are in regular Uber this time. nerdRage has not yet gone onto the second point. Some bombing coming in now. Funds and Chris both getting kills. Medico getting Chris eventually.
Wow,
Medico very weak, getting a second kill. Eventually getting cleaned up by Zesty. Here's a flank coming in from Medico on the escape plan. Oh, Honey gets the... Oh, Honey with the clean. The clean arrow. News getting Neo as well. It's just Umbrak alive with that full Uber in PC. I see Pappy trying to force that Uber. He does get the force. Or actually, that's Zesty, rather. And we'll get the force. Fortunate nerdRage Uber. But Wind Tunnel Tactics is going to have to do something now. They have 5 minutes to get 4 points. You're going to have to start right now. The push coming in from nerdRage, actually trying to block this point a little bit. Blade will go down. I think the combo will get caught here. Umbrak is just sitting here.
Wow, callback.
What is going on? Umbrak is just sitting there, just alone, but nobody's killing him. Okay, he finally goes down, but Funds and Chris have both gone down. nerdRage having 3 players. They have Neo in choke, a sniper, and getting the kill onto News. Oh, that's a very important
That's a tight
pick.
turn, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Wind Tunnel Tactics is probably still going to be able to get that midpoint, but I mean,
oh wait, yeah,
spawns are not going to be in their favor now.
Yeah, everyone's just so low. I just looked at the numbers and thought like, oh, they could definitely fight this mid, but they've got absolutely no heals. But they are taking their sweet time over Wind Tunnel Tactics, so they will cap off that point, and they have to back off now because, you know, Umbrak has come back alive for his team. He's dished out all the heals. He can make the re-push. They do lose callback on the overextension in the sewers slightly, so, but they will still cap that midpoint. And with the Neo on Sniper as well, it adds another little pressure for Wind Tunnel Tactics to try and take this back. Is that an Uber charge? It is an Uber charge. Honey just popped in. He just wants everyone to feel good on his team making this pushing attempt. And what a push it was. The scouts have gone to work. They found all these players. And not even Umbrak survived that. So with everybody going down and they're claiming that midpoint. Oh, callback. He makes a very nice bomb and takes out Honey to equalize it, to make sure, I guess, they don't lose the round off the back of it. But what a push coming in from Honey and his boys.
Yeah, very solid push. They're going to try to convert this into a last push, I hope. I mean, it's going to be even Ubers. They need the time right now.
Tag went down.
Yep.
Oh no.
This is a very early pick. Umbrak going down to Pappy, actually. Great bomb from Pappy there. Gets cleaned up by Medico, but that's 2 players down for the side of nerdRage. Windtunnel Tactics going to have a pretty big Uber advantage, but seems like they're not really pushing on this. I think they might have given up. I don't.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry for breaking the news. That's not, no pun intended, but I think they've slightly given up. But let's see.
Yeah, I know. It just occurred to me as well. I was like, man, they are playing quite softly. Oh right, the 5-1. Yes. Yeah. With the 2 minutes left, it all makes sense now.
Yeah. Well, you can still try and get a point. It's 2 minutes left. Try to maybe
for the
salvage a little bit of pride, you know.
For the logs. It's for the tiebreakers when we have to go to rounds.
Well, we'll see. They do have that Uber advantage. Umbrak is on vaccinated. Push coming in from the left. The bomb's coming in, getting everyone into the spawn room for the side of nerdRage. They're going to try to play the point. A lot of time on the point, actually. But there comes nerdRage with those vaccinator bubbles. Honey will go down. Chris will go down to the sentry. They've never actually properly dealt with the sentry. It eventually gets spammed down. 3 players on both teams. Blade getting news, trying to edge the point. And there's Pappy and Funds both trying to sack onto the point. Well, that's an unsuccessful last push for Windtunnel Tactics.
I think they kind of got a little bit desperate at the end there. You could tell that, oh man, it's so close to capping. If we just throw everybody like haphazardly on there, maybe we'll just cap it out. And all of that work undone by Blade by just going forward by himself and capping off that second point. I mean, it will get picked off, and even Medico will die as well, so it's not going to make for a great last defense. But they've got a vaccinator, they've got engineer that's trying to build a sentry gun now. Actually, you already see some resistance. They're going straight in. They're on top of the point. They've got some good frags. Only Namtak alive, and I think he's going to get cleaned up. There will be another round on the board, but sadly, I think it will be the last round for the map. Overall, the victory will go to nerdRage. Hiipfire.
Well, yeah, it's only 40 seconds left. That's not enough time for Windtunnel Tactics to try and get another point on the board. So this will be a 5-2 map in favor of nerdRage. I mean, you could definitely say that after that first mid where they just won it and immediately rolled it into a last push, you know, you'd think, oh, you know, they might contest nerdRage really well, but I mean, after that, all those mids the mids never worked out for Windtunnel Tactics after that first one. Now, I mean, you see that they lost 5-2. I mean, I would even throw a question mark on that second point, because I mean, it wasn't exactly the most serious of rounds. People just sacking in and all the kind of general chaos, but yeah, it's just.
I know what you're saying, Hiipfire. TF2 really needs a good game function. It's just begging for one. You know, where you could just concede and forfeit or something. Anything. Valve, please.
Well, I don't know. Maybe if you design a hat or a map, you could maybe you know, get it in.
The forfeit hat with a little white flag on top.
Yeah, exactly. I would make a French joke in there, but
low hanging fruit. Oh la la. Ah, merci, merci. Well, now that I'm nice
breaking the LAN rules on stream. Damn.
We'll delete the VODs. Anyway, logs. I have some logs for you.
Logs?
Yes.
Oh, man.
I'm going to load the log interview now. All right. So, same song and dance. Anybody jumping out at you? Hiipfire?
Let's see. Let's look at these numbers. Well, you can obviously see that the scout pair Neo Blade were very strong. 28-15, 23-16.
Cleanup crew.
8K, 7.5K. Some good sniping as well from Blade, getting some good headshots. He did.
I mean, there was a bit of there's a hefty amount of damage coming out from him, but sadly he could only really find the one kill. But I think that was a drop.
That was the kill on Honey.
Yeah.
So there was a there
was a Neo kill as well. I keep mixing
there was a lot of headshots.
Yeah.
Like he dropped that one time he picked sewers, he dropped news really low and all that stuff, but yeah, he never really got the big pick. There's no real highlight reel, but he definitely put out a lot of important damage to break some of the stalemates that were going on.
Just looking at all the stats, really, they're quite even. I had to pick on somebody, I think the only one that jumps out at me is maybe Zesty. Like his kills are a little bit low, really, to say he's like the pocket soldier.
Yeah.
But you know, other than that, I think it's quite. I think it was just one of those games that you have to pay more attention to the match itself rather than the statistics behind it. But we'll still humor it. We'll look at these little past medic stats as well. Honey utilizing that vaccinator for the majority of the game, actually. So, I mean, most of the time it seemed like they were on the back foot and they were just going back to that vaccinator again and again and again. But on process, it seems like they know exactly what to do against this vaccinator. But unlike a map like Granary, it's a lot harder for them for some reason. All right, let's look at. Wow, that's a lot of blue.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, you know, they won that first mid, which was pretty good, solid mid from them. But after that, I mean, all the aggressive plays they tried to do didn't work out. And then when nerdRage would go aggressive, they'd be immediately forced into sewers and they just choke, and they just could never really get anything done on those mids. So yeah, just really good mids from nerdRage.
All right, we got the Gentleman John extended stats only here at teamfortress.tv. So the only thing I'm really seeing here is like maybe the team who kind of won the mid basically won the next part of the game, basically just like a game of snowballs.
Yes.
So,
and I mean, and you can see what team won the mids. Blue plus 15. That's very dominant for mid.
I mean, when they did win, if they did get some mids going, like when they actually pushed them into their last, they had control of them over on the side of Wind Tunnel Tactics. You can see with the red on the blue zone there, but there just wasn't that too many opportunities, especially because they were winning the majority of the mids. It allowed them to snowball a lot more of these rounds. I think we've got even some more statistics to do with that. We can go straight to the caps, like look at the conversion rate. It's like, see, they can get to the conversion rate is quite strong for them, but you could just see that they've just got more attempts at it over on nerdRage.
Yes.
All right, so player v players, always a favorite.
Ooh, Funds. Corback he's
turned on his monitor this game, it seems.
He's turned on his monitor, he's plugged in his mouse.
He's told Chris to calm down from the previous map.
He's no longer playing on a keyboard with where he has to aim with arrow keys, so I think he's definitely awake and ready.
So it seems like maybe the scouts are doing fine for Wind Tunnel Tactics. Do you think you need to talk to Pappy, you need to talk to Zesty? You're like, you've been playing too many pugs, you need to get the toxicity out of my game.
Well, I mean, Pappy has just not really been very successful in a lot of his bombs, and I don't really know exactly what the cause is for Zesty's poor play, but
I'm surprised we didn't see Pappy going behind a lot more often. He was doing that yesterday with quite a bit of success, but this time it's a lot more like direct, and it just hasn't been working out.
Yeah, well, he was getting met by Corback a lot on those mids because he would just go for the fast rollout. Like, that's what he did yesterday as well in their match against Brocat, I think, had process? Or someone. I don't remember who.
Brocanta.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah. Where he went for for aggressive mids every time. He'd jump in aggressive every mid, and he'd catch Elicor every time. But now Corback does the same fast rollout, so he just meets him there. And he can't really get much done because he's unable to really win the fights against Corback. So he needed a different approach to the mid, I guess. But his mids were relatively one-dimensional, I guess, this map.
Yeah. Again, more stats just supporting how much was going on the Reds part of the map. Not too many opportunities. Other than that, I think that concludes our little demonstration of the log. So I'm just going to hide them away there. And I guess I'm going to have to spoil them as well and put us back on camera. Yeah. Oh,
whoa, what's going on here?
Hello.
We have the admin giving us a baguette, some cheese with the wine.
Now this is a French stream.
Oh, man. Shoutouts to Ilosu, the admin of the tournament.
All right. Good night, everybody. Well, I'm really excited. Our third map will be Balthans.
I don't want to. I don't think I want to castle you anymore. This is unprofessional.
Oh. You want to share?
Nah, it's fine. It's fine.
All right. Okay. Oh. Mwah, delicious. Merci. Merci. Okay.
Beautiful French.
All right. So.
Ho ho.
Third map. Final map. Match point for both these teams. It is going to be Badlands. What can you tell me about the Badlands, Hiipfire?
I feel like I haven't really seen either of these teams play a lot of Badlands.
No, I think it's the first time we've seen it, at least for... I think this was Denise Gaming's home map?
Yeah, this was Denise Gaming's home map.
Yeah, but we didn't really get a chance to see them. We haven't really had a chance to see them all tournament because
we only saw the upper bracket semifinals.
Not even that, no. We didn't get to...
Oh, wait.
Yeah, because we had to cut that for time as well. Poor Denise Gaming.
Right. Oh, right, yeah. Wait. There was a match that was casted from them, I feel like, but... My memory's terrible. But, yeah, we haven't seen a lot of Badlands. I think, yeah, only Dennis Gaming played it. And I want to say it's been vetoed since. So, it's going to be interesting. This is a very staple map, like, but we'll see how these teams can, how these teams will perform on the, what people would call the Dust 2 of TF2.
Yeah. So... Who's your money on then when it comes to this Badlands map? I mean, everybody knows Badlands like the back of their hand, so really, even if you're an established team or a mixed team, usually it doesn't really matter. It depends who really outplays one another and which team strikes you more as an outplay team.
I think nerdRage will probably win this map because just I don't know. It's nerdRage obviously has been playing together for a really long time. And they're just probably the stronger team on it with a mixed team. They're probably not going to have the same amount of coordination as nerdRage will have, and this will be like probably like an equal playing field, I guess, compared to the other map picks, since this is the decider.
Like, sorry, I just noticed. Production, are you eating my cheese? Gotta
share the cheese.
Oh, how romantic. Very romantic.
Amazing.
Sorry, I'm terribly rude. Stop feeding me wine.
Hey, can I have a bite of the...
Yeah, you can have a bit of cheese.
No, the bread.
The baguette?
Yeah, the baguette.
There you go. Oh. We're going to game. No time. Oh God. I'm choking.
You go, Cass. I have baguette.
Oh, okay. All right. We're back in the game. Welcome to teamfortress.tv. Gamers Assembly 2017. What's happening on mid Hiipfire?
Well, I see Medico jumping in after the combo. Korbeck did the same thing. Blade also coming in and just completely destroying the combo of Untitled Tactics. Funds and Pappy, the flank, are trying to do something to try and salvage this mid, but it will be all for nothing. And, well, nerdRage winning the first mid of the decider of this best of 3 series.
All right, I was completely paying attention during that entire mid. nerdRage were just a class above, clearly, because I'm sure 100% attention. All right, so they won that mid pretty convincingly, obviously, just from the ramifications, the aftermath. They've got the 100% Uber advantage, so they could probably even roll this into a last push as well, but they're kind of taking their sweet time. I guess they're dealing with Pappy, who's decided to go behind, and they're committed to making sure he goes down. They're trying to exterminate him. They finally finish him off, but all that time that Pappy's wasted, like, bought them at least a little bit of time for them to get some vaccinator charges up, but probably all that effort that's gone to that, and, you know, Chris goes down anyway, so maybe... And they even take out the sentry gun pretty quickly as well with that Uber. They're already trying to prioritize that point. And with News down as well, there's going to be very, very hard last hold to actually pull off. They're already pressuring that point. They have to commit to way too many players on that last point to actually block it. And eventually they do fall down. That is 1-0 already on the board for nerdRage.
Like the presence of the baguette and all of this and the production The production table has just given a big boon to nerdRage. But let's look at this.
Smell the cheese from
here.
here.
Exactly. So let's look at this second mid. Untitled Tactics is going to try and win this mid. There's a bomb coming in from Pappy straight onto the train of nerdRage. Another jump soldier jumping in, trying his luck as well. There's actually a bomb coming in onto Honey. Honey drops very weak. Funds Chris goes down. Zesty goes down. 3 players left for the side of Untitled Tactics. They all have really bad health. Pappy gets core back. But then they get cleaned up by the scouts, Neo and Blade.
And again, they're keeping Ombrak alive, so this could probably just turn into another easy round for them. I'm a little bit worried that we might see a Mercy Rule at this rate at 15 minutes.
I hope not, but maybe we'll see, but depends on if Untitled Tactics can... Whoa, I almost knocked over my drink. I'm going to move this over somewhere. I don't know.
Panic, picnic, give it a...
There, all right. So, right, before I almost spilled my drink all over my laptop, we have nerdRage sitting on second. We have nerdRage on last. The good old Chris Pyro is up. I would like to see Chris do some pounding. The Uber comes in. Chris immediately falls off. The sentry goes down. Honey is not able to get into that. The reflect kill from Chris onto Blade. That's a good kill. Namtech going down. Neo going down. It's just a combo left. And the roamer for nerdRage. And Chris pounded. Oh,
Medico, he's kind of caught behind as well. I think he was trying to sneak behind, but they do catch wind of him, so... And even Korback is still faffing about in the base as well. He might actually get the kill on the Funds, or Funds will actually get the last standing shot. So they'd still hold on to the second point, however, because they've just delayed so much time and there's just not enough resources for Untitled Tactics to actually make the push out. And plus, Ombrak, I think, stayed alive during all that, so he's going to have an Uber charge even quicker before Honey. But I think they're keeping tabs on this. Zesty went as spy for a moment there just to see what sort of things they were doing on the side of nerdRage. Now he's even doing it again just to double check, I suppose. But with their Uber charge ready, I think they should know they have this Uber charge to use against them, but they're taking a long time really to put use of it. I think they're just giving them way too much respect at this point, and just thinking that Honey must have his Uber by now.
Well, yeah, it's now Honey does in fact have his Uber. They are peeking main. What just happened? Medico just got 2 picks. News and Pappy go down. This is a great opening for nerdRage going into top left there. Going in onto the point. Sentry goes down. Chris goes down. The Ubers have been traded. Only 3 players up for Untitled Tactics. And while this is not looking very good for Untitled Tactics, 3 players. Funds goes down. Honey's unable to save him with that Uber. Spawns are coming in. Zesty needs to just stall for a little more time, but he's unable to, and nerdRage will go up 2-0.
Yeah, I think they must have done that bottom left double soldier spam, and not only did it get was it the demo man kill, but it also got a scout kill as well. So I guess you see why a lot of teams elect to have the demo man hang out with their combo as well, because it just keeps him pretty safe, and he's incredibly valuable on these Badlands last holds.
All right, third mid, 2-0 for nerdRage. Let's see what is gonna happen on this mid. Not really a lot happening just yet. Some small spam. A Korback bomb coming in will take out News. Namtech gets Chris and Funds. Both scouts down. Demo down. There goes Zesty. There goes Pappy. There goes Honey. That was a really, really quick wipe from nerdRage.
Again, Ombrak alive. They're just head and shoulders, it seems, on this map compared to Untitled Tactics. I keep wanting to say, I'm like deciding to send like, should I say the French name? No, I'm not going to say the French name.
Tactique de soufflerie.
Again, showing off. Stop it.
You're saying showing off, even though I'm 100% sure I'm mispronouncing it.
Yeah, but if you say it with such confidence, that I believe you. Anyway, the Uber's coming in now. Neo and Korback combine to take out that sentry gun. They're trying to clear the point at this moment in time. Ombrak commits his life in just to kind of, I guess, throw a target on his back, get the aggro off his team, but with this heavy weapons guy, there's just way too much on their plate to deal with, and he will have the firepower to actually clean up these remaining players. And is Namtech actually daring to go in? He does not dare. So he will go back. He's probably going to set up a sticky trap, make sure that that second point isn't given away to Untitled Tactics.
All right, well, nerdRage
Zesty. I can't speak French.
What? What was,
I can't repeat it.
All right. Well, nerdRage is holding the second point.
Correct.
Neo is sitting from choke, trying to see if he can maybe get any aggressing Wind Tunnel Tactics players. But Wind Tunnel Tactics has only minor add, and they're holding last. I mean, Pape's sitting in the spawn room, spamming bottom left. Not really sure what nerdRage is expecting, but they shouldn't be expecting a push out, but they do have Zesty.
Oh, he's got the cozy camper on, Neo.
Ooh.
Is that loud?
Yes.
Oh. Wow, it's been such a long time I've seen that. So, I wonder why people don't use it more often, to be honest.
Well, Girardi, SMG, those are pretty strong too. But anyway, Zesty in top lobby. You can see the combo. You can see a lot of nerdRage players. Should be able to maybe get something. He's going to go for the long rotate all the way around. He has uncloaked at Scout. You see if he can get anything. He's on behind Unbreak. He misses the stab again, but he eventually has the third stab. Unbreak, and he gets Namtac. Kill. What is going on? He gets 2 kills. Eventually, we'll go down to Korback. Chris getting Korback. It's now 3v5. Wind Tunnel Tactics somehow managing to get 2 picks. And, well, they're going to go get this second point. Zesty complaining in chat that his stab didn't register. I don't know about that. I think he just missed.
Well, you know, all's well that ends well, I suppose. He got the medic stab in the end, and even got a bonus Demoman kill as well. I'm very, very shocked. What is it with Badlands and these spy kills that people can't just seem to clock on earlier?
I don't know, but Wind Tunnel Tactics is going to try to get on Spire. The rest of nerdRage is just in choke. Neo actually peeking though, trying to get a kill onto someone on the point. Gets Pappy. The aggression is coming in from nerdRage. Wind Tunnel Tactics will cap the second point. The rest of Wind Tunnel Tactics is in trash. All of the Uber eventually does get popped. Trying to get some kills with this. They do get Namtac. Funds will actually go down while the Uber is up. And, well...
MG, Spire, Korback.
Blade will get Zesty. Korback eventually gets cleaned up, but actually Blade manages to aggress onto the combo. Will get Honey. Neo getting a headshot onto Pappy. And, well, Wind Tunnel Tactics does have the second point, but seems a little shaky. It's just Chris outside. He's on stone. He is going to get a body shot in the face and will be back spawning. And Wind Tunnel Tactics is back on last. And, well, Umbrak has Uber right now.
Yeah, they've even swapped out a Vaccinator in the respawn now. But Wind Tunnel Tactics got funds up on that sentry gun yet again. So they are really digging their heels into this last point, but you know, the 2 rounds behind, they maybe need to start thinking about bringing some resources out to some more proactive methods of maybe pushing out, or some sort of pick classes, or some spies, or some snipers, something to maybe even think about just laying the way to put the push out. As the Uber comes in, he's trying to take out the sentry gun Blade. Amtac will help him out. Blade has a quick switcheroo around to the other side, and they lay out a huge amount of damage on the other side, but they kind of trade a piece. And with all these players kind of leaving towards the end, it will actually just be Umbrak left, and Neo...
Oh, Funds! He's gonna get Umbrak. Can he get Neo? He's attempting to reload. He does get Neo, saving that last push. Neo was just sitting in that main area trying to just kind of take some pot shots. He eventually did get Honey.
Korback's gonna go down. He's solo. Funds is bullying him.
Oh, Funds saving Wind Tunnel Tactics right there.
5 HP, Warrior.
Man, this is some exciting gameplay. nerdRage is on second. Wind Tunnel Tactics is on their last. It's basically even Ubers right now. nerdRage slowly moving into lobby. Korback is going to be the first to enter. Sees Happy there. They exchange some spam, but they are going to be able to establish control of the lobby area. Well, see what's going to happen. Wind Tunnel Tactics is on the regular Uber. They have the sentry. They have a heavy, so they're pretty committed to this last hold. And nerdRage does not really have a lot of pressure to push in. I mean, they're up 2-0. 18 minutes. I don't think nerdRage will really be taking too many risks The Uber gets called by Umbrak, and the Uber will be called soon by Honey as well. The double soldier spam coming in bottom right, actually. They're setting up for it, trying to get some damage onto Pappy. Pappy responds very quickly, but Zesty's actually top left. He's going to get caught, get some damage on both soldiers, but in the end, he will go down. But then Korbeck and Medico will both go down. Chris and Pappy cleaning up the damage that Zesty started on them. Neo gets Chris, and well, seems like Windtunnel Tactics is able to hold this. The Ubers have been exchanged as well. Way better Uber for Windtunnel Tactics, but neither of the teams really able to get many kills from it. Namtech is still in front, actually, in top lobby. The rest of his team is a little bit more passive on second. They're trying to get back into lobby, and well, seems like we're back into this hold. We do have Zesty in bats as Spy is trying to get behind Umbrak. He gets the face stab. He misses the backstab. This time unsuccessful to get the kill onto Umbrak.
Man, it's getting a bit chaotic, maybe even a bit like scrappy from both of these teams here. The coordination is a little bit lacking. There was a point where they Ubered out over on the side of Windtunnel Tactics, because I imagine Chris was just screaming from the bottom left-hand corner, we can get them here, we can get them here, they're caught out. But it took such a long time for them to actually rotate round, and by the time they Ubered out, there was nobody really to find and actually lay some damage upon them. And they've overextended a few players onto their teams. Now that's the two beefiest players for this last hold, and you can even see that the callback's taken I can't even say the word, but he's trying to take this space on the right-hand side, but never really wants to contest him, and he doesn't really want to stay there for long either. He decides to back out just because Medico and the rest of his team aren't up at that last point with him. They're going to get the Spire capping though on Windtunnel Tactics. I'm surprised nobody's really contested this over on nerdRage. They're just just sitting back really. They've lost the flank, they've lost the Spire area. I don't know what they want to accomplish here. I guess Ambrox's just scared of that that Medicon, and he still gets kind of piped off by news anyway.
Well, there's, okay, well. Oh. Hello? You're good. All right, we're good apparently.
Beep,
all right.
Boop, beep, boop.
We are back.
Am I no longer a robot?
I'm gonna take another bite, so you go cast Turbo.
All right. So what have we missed during all that times that we were not making those dreadful robot sounds anymore? We saw a back cap going into progress, but the times 3 cap is just a little bit faster. That was a nipple hairs away from Windtunnel Tactics actually getting around onto the board, but Chris will be punished for his sins. No EU gimmicks today. While they're actually taking the space over on the resupply area from Windtunnel Tactics, and they will start capping off the second as well. I don't think they've really got any space over on nerdRage to fight back from this, so I think they're just going to go back, build up that Uber, because they should be worried as well that Honey has that Uber a good 75% ahead of Umbrak. They actually switch off to the Vaccinator as well, just to really add some extra oomph to the defense.
Well, see what Windtunnel Tactics can do with this advantage. The Uber gets popped in top left, and they're getting completely denied by that sentry and by Blade's air blast. And they're trying to walk in. Blade just burning News alive there. News will go down to
Did he
fire.
just taunt?
And yes, he did just taunt. You saw that, right? The BM is in. Funds gets Namtech. Windtunnel Tactics trying to push in. Funds also gets Neo. 2 players, 3 players down for nerdRage. They're starting to play the point. Actually, they're not starting to play the point. The rest of Windtunnel Tactics is actually like half out, spawning, and well, it's actually just Funds alone on last, and Windtunnel Tactics unsuccessfully pushing into last.
Yeah, they just couldn't deal with the resistance of the Vaccinator. Even Funds showing how annoyed he is with the Vaccinator in chat. Ban Vaccinator campaigns, but I don't think they could really push out at all on nerdRage. It was just a little too messy towards the tail end, and the Vaccinator, it wasn't really the wipe they were looking for if they want to make the push out on the second.
Well, Untitled Tactics is still on big Uber advantage, 50%. Pappy does go down to Korvac. nerdRage is trying to hold forward right now, not letting Untitled Tactics even enter the building of the last point, even enter inside. So Untitled Tactics is going to be waiting on the spawner of Pappy to start pushing in. Do have that advantage. It's slowly going away though. They need to go soon if they want to do anything other than an Uber exchange. Regression coming into lobby. They will establish control of that lobby area. I'm sorry for that burp again, but
you've been drinking too much wine, Hiipfire. I'm kidding.
Sure.
You haven't touched the even a morsel of
yes, but
wine.
Blade is peeking into main, unable to get anything there. He's peeking in very aggressively. Might be able to get a shot onto Honey, but Honey will pop the Uber in top right. They're forcing the rest of nerdRage into the spawn room, but actually they have counter popped. Uber is a little bit better. Chris gets Namtac. Destiny goes down. Funds goes down. Player advantage for nerdRage, but
wow,
the height
Chris.
advantage is definitely in advantage of Wow. Untitled Tactics just cleaning up everyone. That was great, I guess, coordinated spam onto top left and just... yeah.
It did look like for a second there that nerdRage were going to claw it back, but the positions were pretty garbage for them, especially when they were dealing with Chris behind. I think dedicated like 3 players at some point behind that area. So not only did they give up the high ground, but Chris wasn't even dying. I think he even won like a 1v3. Took out 1 player and the rest just kind of like crumbled or had no ammo left.
Oh, we have the next mid. 4th mid, 2-1 for nerdRage. Chris trying to aggress through Shithouse onto Medico, unable to get anything from that. Pappy gets a good bomb onto Umbrak. The Umbrak down very early into this mid, but there's 3 players onto Honey and News in that valley area.
1 HP.
Ooh, barely surviving.
Oh,
He gets taken out by Korvac. It's just Pappy alive for the side of Untitled Tactics. But hey, at least they got the mid.
My God, is there any point where Pappy isn't behind in his games? He's always behind.
That is what you asked him to do.
Well, but that was like process. You have to come back from being behind eventually. You can't just take a tour of the map. You need to... I mean, he's doing stuff now because I don't know why they're committing 3 players to dealing with him. And it is wasting a huge amount of time, but... you know, if nerdRage were just decide to ignore him and go ahead, like, you know, Pappy wouldn't be able to really contribute much, but I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? They managed to cap the second point back from Pappy being behind anyway, so in that instance, I guess him being behind has come to fruition, but just too much, I say.
Too much.
Too much.
Well, Untitled Tactics is on Vaccinator. They're trying to push in through this choke area, popping some Vaccinator bubbles onto Funds there. They're trying to force the Uber. They do successfully force the Uber. Pappy actually also gets a kill on Blade on the flank. And the Uber is fading for nerdRage. They actually baited out that Uber very well. Korvac going down to Pappy as well. 2 kills for Pappy, and they should be able to push into mid right now. nerdRage sitting on the point. Gonna try and contest this at least a little bit, but they're gonna have to get out. 6 players in Untitled Tactics have now collapsed onto this midpoint. Funds and Zesty even getting kills on Namtech and Medico when they're trying to get out, and that was really well played from Windtunnel.
Yeah, they just threw everybody into that mid there, and I guess they just didn't see it coming over on nerdRage. They just didn't really prep for it, or... But keep in mind, they were down like a couple of players as well, so I don't know why they really postured that much for like a mid defense. I think they still got caught out in the end. Already pushing into last. They've got some bodies on the point. Resistances are up. Pyro pushing people off. The Sentry Gun doing so much work. MVP!
Damn, I mean, that 7th player, man. he really knows how to shoot. Pappy's the only one alive for Untitled Tactics. He's sitting in house, unable to really do anything. He's going to go for the big hiding play in house. I wonder if this is going to really amount to anything. The pessimist in me says no, but I mean, This would be an interesting spot. Let's see.
It's been a very long time since I've really seen a hiding spot in Badlands play off.
Yeah, but here it comes. The combo of nerdRage is going through house. Are they going to check this corner? Oh, here it comes. Peppy's in. He's getting a rocket onto Umbrak. Umbrak is caught. He will not get dropped, but Umbrak is very disconnected. Wow.
Look at all the death.
Oh no, Peppy did. I mean, he didn't drop Umbrak, but he did manage to.
He even knew he was there.
He got Umbrak kind of just separated from the rest of his team, but the rest of his team just destroyed Wind Tunnel Tactics.
He was just half a second too late, really.
Yeah.
If he came in just a little bit earlier, he could have maybe have a drop on his hands.
I think it's more just the Wind Tunnel Tactics players just not like holding the bombs, the double soldier bomb, like correctly, because there's not really much you can do. You can't really drop.
Backstab onto Namtak.
Chris, great stuff. Funds on.
I don't think they'll make a push of this. They, oh, actually, no, they will. They must do, surely.
And the Uber is about to come up. Funds is aggressing onto onto nerdRage a little bit. He's going for the reflect. Vaccinated bombs are getting popped onto him. His Uber has done literally zilch, nothing at all. Blade is gonna get air shot by Zesty, just popped out of the sky, and the rest of nerdRage is gonna have to get out. Chris will go down to Korback. That really won't be that much.
How he's supposed to kill a pyro Hiipfire if he's got bullet resistance as well? He can reflect projectiles. He's resistant to bullets. He's invincible. He's a Terminator.
Yeah, well, that's the players have to deal with that. I just get to watch them struggle. Yeah, I get to just watch them struggle. It's not my problem. We do have Wind Tunnel Tactics continuing to hold last. You're gonna have 4 vaccinator bubbles. Actually, no, so vaccinator bubbles are getting popped. There's a little bit of aggression going on, trying to establish a little bit of a forward hold maybe, but they're unable to do much. There's actually Chris in main behind the barrels as Heavy is going to get caught out. The Uber comes in, 3 players down for Wind Tunnel Tactics. It's really messy. They're trying to get on top of the point with that vaccinator. Oh, Honey is just alone. News trying to do what he can, and it will be 3-1 for nerdRage.
Yeah, it was a very difficult task for Honey and his last couple of players to really hold on to that point. I mean, he did stand on it, have a resistance up, but at the end of the day, he just had way too many people to deal with. So I think the flank was just ruptured there from Wind Tunnel Tactics. They probably need to position themselves a lot more defensively when they know that Umbrak has a Zuba.
Well, next mid, 5th mid of this map. Wind Tunnel Tactic is trying to go a little bit aggressive. Pappy in the house of nerdRage, but Chris will go down very early. News will go down as well. The bomb is coming in onto the combo of nerdRage, but we'll only be getting Umbrak. Actually, that's a very good pick, but there's a lot of players down. Medico goes down to Honey. Honey showing off his crossbow aim there.
Oh no, he's going to be met up by Neo.
Oh no! Oh, he's noticed the jukes. Oh, here comes the saw, but nice try.
That would have been so
Honey.
cool. I think he waited. He was like, I know some scouts are going to come chasing around here, but Neo, I don't know. Maybe he's got those headphones. You can hear the footsteps.
Well, he really tried. He got the saw. He dropped Neo to 8 HP. That could have really been clutch, but sadly, Wind Tunnel Tactics is going to be stuck on their last. There's 4.5 minutes left. Wind Tunnel Tactics will have to get 2 points within these 4.5 minutes. They're on last. They're on Vaccinator. And, well, going to have to try to do something. Umbrak will not have this Uber. The Wind Tunnel Tactics does have an opportunity to push into top. News, or Funds rather, will get Blade. A push coming into top lobby. He's coming in. News will go down to Medico. The combo is coming in. Zesty's unable to do much. Chris with the heavies going in. Funds cleaning up great damage onto Namtek and Neo. Chris just dropping down into lower lobby, getting Medico as well. There's Umbrak and Korback with the Uber though pushing in, and they pop onto the combo, or well, Funds and Honey there.
Oh, Honey, he's low. He's so low.
Will he get out? I think he will get out. News is very weak though. He's 17 HP. Honey drops down to help him. He's missing his arrows though. And then Umbrak in main will take out Honey.
Even though.
Yeah. Blade gets a Boston Basher kill there. Chris getting Namtek.
They're not even going for the objective anymore. The last point's been empty for quite a long time now, and they've just been chasing kills in the base.
This has officially turned into a DM server. But Neo gets Funds. Actually, Neo has switched to Sniper silently while I wasn't paying attention, but nerdRage has a lot of control over this match with 40% advantage. They do have Neo on Sniper. but they should be able to push in with this soon to try and win this map by just, I guess, the old timer game. 3 minutes. Untitled Tactique is going to have to push out soon. The Uber is going to be up for nerdRage in any moment now. There it is.
Do you think if you're Untitled Tactics at this point, do you think they've given up?
No. I think they're going to push in right now and they're going to pound. Well, they're coming into top lobby. Unt is peeking top left there. Does not see an opening, but they're going to have to push now. They have 2.5 minutes. You got to go, go. And I don't know what's going on. Pappy in chat says, don't push, we push. So they're going to push. Eventually, Chris goes down. Buns is on 5 HP. And I have the feeling that people are baiting each other.
Yeah, Blade pushed, and then he met his demise. He should have listened to the instructions.
All the push is finally coming in through trash, or through bats rather, onto nerdRage. They're on the spires. Scouts trying to fight this soldier on top of the point, unable to get the kill. He does get him off. News gets Namtag. A soldier bomb coming in will clean up funds. There's Honey on spire with the Uber. He's trying to get to a player to not drop. There is Zesty, who has to go out to resup, and this is a very messy push from Untitled Tactics. Pappy will get Neo. Blade will clean up the kill on Pappy. There's a chase coming in from Chris onto Umbrak. Umbrak trying to meet up with someone when out he has popped his Uber. Slightly better Uber for nerdRage, but won't mean that much. Zesty will get an air shot on Medico. Take him out. nerdRage will have to, well, they're actually going to try and contest. There's some bad health, though. Umbrak goes down to an arrow from Honey, returning the favor. Korvac also goes down to Zesty. It should be a second point for Untitled Tactics. They have, in fact, capped it. They should be able to go to mid. They're going to have to make up a lot of time right now. And I don't know if they can do it. It's a minute and a half. Honey gets a second kill onto Namtag. Honey.
Yeah, that's a lot of time to make back. They would have to somehow travel back into the past and retrieve that time they lost.
Yeah, I think I think this is it.
Back cap.
It's 1 minute.
Blade is one man. He's going for the last, and well, Chris will cut off that option for him. So yeah, it's over.
Well, congratulations to nerdRage for winning the upper bracket finals of Gamers Assembly. They have qualified for the grand finals now that are going to be on a stage.
Ooh la la.
Yeah, on a stage it's going to be casted professionally casted on Orcs Esports.
Man, that's going to be hype.
It's going to be extremely hype. While Untitled Tactics is now going to have to play the lower bracket finals against Brocant Golfic de Limoges.
Yeah, that sounds right. Close enough.
Sure. Thank you. I'm glad you approve, but well,
I mean, final few seconds left. Say it with me. 3,
2, 1.
Happy GG.
Happy New Year.
All right, so let's go through the whole routine. It's time for some logs, Hiipfire.
Oh man. Some highlights first, though. Actually,
highlights. We have got some highlights. Oh boy. Have we? They're done now.
Oh, well, I managed to shout them out eventually, but we're on the... Oh, no, don't look at that. That's, don't look at that... Don't look at that Notepad++, though. That's not important.
Immersion ruined. I'm going to close the stream now. All right.
Let's look at the logs.
Yes, let's look at the logs. Let's take them away from our disgusting faces. Let's get those logs back up under there. I think I've got them loaded.
Yes, you have them loaded.
Nice, nice. Okay, so I'm going to look at the most important stats of them all.
The big number. The
biggest number of them all. Who did the most damage as medic?
It's the boy. It's highest damage is medic. Honey did.
Honey did. So he's the best crossbow medic between the both of them. I mean, isn't that what's really important here?
I mean, that's a relatively questionable claim.
A real French player.
A real French player. Yeah. It's a real shame that this the camera isn't on, but as you can tell, the French community have adopted me, so and I've adopted them. Let's go back to some logs.
All right. Well, while Turbo is eating, let's look at some more logs. So, well, you can see obviously with the biggest number, you can see some really big numbers on the side of nerdRage. You have 2 players actually breaking the 5-digit mark. Namtek and Medico both getting 10K. Medico actually top damaging on the server itself. Korvac just barely not making 5 digits, 8 damage off of making 10,000.
That's it. He's cut. Get him out of here.
Yeah, just cut him right here on land.
Yeah. Sub me in. I'm a roamer. I play with the best. I told Drac everything he knew.
I doubt this, but sure. This is a very doubtful claim. A very.
This is the wine's getting to me. Clearly, not taking this very seriously. Let's go to the medic stats. Let's bring it back onto the rails.
Well, I see 2 drops for Honey, and I see 1 drop for Umbrak. And well, it could have been 2 drops for Umbrak,
but Honey had the drop where it
Chris
was
choked.
Honey had the drop where it was a vaccinated drop, though. So,
oh yeah, that's true. Because it was on point. Yeah, right.
So. I mean, it's a bit cruel, really.
So I guess the Umbrak drop was the only one that really happened, and that was just a spy play that they didn't really account for. So,
oh my god, that is even more blue than the Granary map.
Yeah, but I mean, Untitled Tactics did manage to get a point when they lose the mid.
Making you're always looking at the silver lining, I suppose.
Making the conversion rate 75%.
Look how much time they had to dedicate to getting that round in, though. 13 minutes that round took to swing their way, and
that was a lot. There were a lot of failed pushes as well. Like, just there were a lot of failed pushes into the vaccinator from nerdRage, and yeah, it was a very scrappy map for Untitled Tactics.
I'm not sure if my the log viewer wants to change anymore. Thinking emoji. Well, maybe that is our log segment over. If it doesn't want to work with us, then we don't want to work with it. Hello there.
General Kenobi.
Were you happy, Dashner? Was it worth it? He's happy. He's giggling. Okay.
So next match.
Next match, yes.
Is
sorry, I can't. You can't take things seriously once you're wearing a French hat. Here you go.
Thank you.
It suits you.
Does it?
Yeah.
Does it?
It looks pretty good. Anyway.
Right.
So congratulations to nerdRage. They're going to go straight to the grand final. Our next match will be the lower bracket final. That will be featuring Tactics. Yeah, I'm not even going to try and say it. Wind Tunnel Tactics and Brocante as well. So that's going to be an epic rematch. Like, this is like the 3rd rematch, pretty much. On that note, well, we're just going to go to a break. We'll see you very, very soon.